We also have been graced with another leader and speaker at CEO Space, Mr. John Lesley Brown. So I'm going to, because John is so gracious, he's in town and he's been traveling to all our clubs worldwide. And he has an important date tonight with his father, Les Brown. So we're going to have John come up and give a quick share before he leaves. And then we're going to proceed with the meeting and show our DVD of the night, which is Mr. Les Brown. So John?
Please give Ms. Shameen a round of applause. If you all knew the type of dedication that it takes to set up, to be a club president, to run meetings, just for the simple fact of believing in something. Raise your hand if you believe in something. If you got something that you believe in so much that you'll show up time and time again for. Okay, see, that's what Shameen's got while working with CEO Space. And Benjamin Franklin has a quote that I love. He said, "Blessed are those that seek nothing, for they shall never be disappointed." So by showing up here today, by constantly seeking something, it says something. How many of you all know, just based off of what you heard about CEO Space, okay? Raise your hand if this is your first time at a CEO Space Club meeting. Oh, okay, it's a lot of people here. Okay, well, there are times when you can tell people about an opportunity, and you can say, oh my gosh, this is something that can change your life, and you could call them and invite them to something, and it still wouldn't matter. They still wouldn't even show up. You know, people like that, Reza, if you know some, you say, oh, get over here right now. This is something that could take your business from local to global, and they wouldn't take the time to show up. That's because of the quote, I'm sure many of you all have heard of it, 90% of success is showing up. You've heard that quote, right? Raise your hand if you've heard that quote before. Okay, 90% of success is showing up. So I remember reading that quote, and it wasn't deep enough for me as a kid. You know, like 90% of success happened with the vision board and the partnership. But when you hear about something like CEO Space, and you don't know what it is, and you hear all these great opportunities about it, you know why 90% of success is showing up. So very quickly before I leave, I'll tell you how I heard about CEO Space. I heard about CEO Space because I was eavesdropping. My dad was on the phone with my sister and brother who run the company and said, oh, you've got to come to this place called CEO Space. These people are networking all night long and they're writing checks. I was in the other room, I heard checks, you know, and I got up and went to the door, and this is so interesting. At 14, I was earning $2,500 an hour as a speaker. And so I've seen a lot of events and been to workshops, but if it impressed my dad so much to where he had to fly my brother and sister in, I knew I needed to hear about it. But what was interesting, he told my brother and sister how important it was and how great of an opportunity, but he didn't tell me about it. He didn't even mention it to me, you know? And so it's so funny. That was 2 forums ago, 2 CEO Spaces ago. And in all this time, my brother and sister, they've never been to a forum. They've never met Ms. Shameen, or they've never seen this great, because they're not even the type to show up. They're not even the type. So all the people, when you hear about this opportunity and the great speaker that you have, you're going to think about some people that need CEO Space more than you. Okay? But don't be concerned if you try to tell them about it and they get it. Guess what? He said, blessed are those that seek nothing, for they shall never be disappointed. Those people are blessed. Okay? They're blessed. But what does that say? What if you are seeking something? Benjamin Franklin, that's what I thought. He said, blessed are those that seek nothing, for they shall never be disappointed. But if you are seeking something, and if you do have a plan and a vision for your life, for your family, and for your business, you will face some disappointments. Raise your hand if in 2009 you faced some disappointments, some things that you did not expect. Okay, well, great. You're in the right place. Despite those disappointments, for you to come here tonight, you're in the right place with the right people. And since being a part of CEO Space, it's changed my family's life completely, both financially and with the impact that we're able to bring to the world by offering such an incredible group. So in closing, I want you to look to anyone around you and just look them in the eye and say, it's your time. It's your time. It's your time. Say it like you mean it. Okay, it's your time. Because I grew up in an environment where my dad had me in top seminars and workshops, I want to just close by sharing a piece that I wrote when I was 14 years old, okay? And I want you to think about what you were doing when you were 14 and about where you plan to be in the future and why you showed up here tonight. And it says simply this: it's your time. You know who I'm talking about. You. It's time to leave the stage behind and be real. And there's nothing real about what you're doing if you're lying to yourself. Don't you want to be happy? Don't you want more out of life? Well, then tell yourself that satisfaction isn't enough. We all want fulfillment. It's not a question of whether or not it's possible. Conquering is part of your description. It is in your nature. The will to overcome and produce was designed to be a part of your genetic makeup. Wake up, wake up, wake up. What is it that you're doing? What made you stop pursuing? Sure, it's hard and it takes time. Sure, you might lose comfort in sleep. Sure, it might be frightening, but so what if that's all you've got to be truly filled full? No more self-doubt, no more self-destruction, just self-discipline and self-development. If you consider yourself a child of God, then start showing some of your Father's traits. Just do it, and don't stop working until your life has meaning. Ladies and gentlemen, you're in the right place because it's your time. Give yourselves a round of applause.